Okay, my dear students, let us derive the formula for time period of the magnetic dipole suspended freely in the uniform magnetic induction field. At any instant, the dipole makes an angle theta with the field direction such that the restoring torque acting on the dipole is given by tau is equal to mb sin theta. If theta is very small, sin theta is approximately taken as theta. That's why tau is equal to minus mb into theta. Here negative sign indicates tau and theta both are opposite to each other. Opposite direction indicates chestam. Because here angular displacement should be measured from field direction. Torque will be acting towards the axis of rotation or towards the field. Both are opposite. That's why torque tau equal to minus mb into theta. That is equation 1. But we know the relation torque tau is equal to I alpha, where I is equal to moment of inertia and alpha is equal to angular acceleration. Comparing equations 1 and 2, we will get I alpha is equal to minus mb into theta, or alpha is equal to minus mb by I into theta. M is the magnetic moment, B is the magnetic induction field, I is the moment of inertia. All these three quantities are constants. That's why alpha is equal to minus k into theta, where k is the proportionality constant. Now alpha is proportional to minus theta, where alpha is the angular acceleration and theta is equal to angular displacement. So angular acceleration is directly proportional to angular displacement and both are opposite to each other. This is the condition for angular simple harmonic motion. Therefore, the magnetic needle makes angular simple harmonic motion. But in angular SHM, the relation between alpha and theta is given by alpha is equal to minus omega square into theta. It is equation 4. Comparing equations 3 and 4. Here from 3, alpha is equal to minus mb by I into theta. Here alpha is equal to minus omega square into theta. On comparing these two, omega square should be equivalent to mb by I. But on comparing 3 and 4, omega square is equal to mb by I, or omega is equal to root of mb by I, and the time period capital T is equal to 2 pi by omega, T is equal to 2 pi by omega. Omega means root of mb by I. Therefore, T is equal to 2 pi into root of I by mb. Or from this, time period T is equal to 2 pi by omega can also be written as root of mb by I. Like this, 2 pi into root of I by mb. Also, the frequency of vibration is given by n is equal to 1 by t. It is also equal to 1 by 2 pi into root of mb by I. This is frequency of oscillation of the magnetic dipole, and this is the time period corresponding to the magnetic dipole. These are the very important relations in the oscillating magnetic dipole in the uniform magnetic induction field. So my dear students, this total derivation is not necessary, not necessary for us. What is the final formula? Here what is that? Once again I will explain it. Torque acting on the dipole is given by mb sin theta. It is the restoring torque. If theta is very small, sin theta is approximately theta and tau equal to minus mb into theta. Negative sign indicates tau and theta are opposite. But the relation between torque and I is given by torque tau equal to I alpha, equation 2, where I is equal to moment of inertia. Comparing these two equations, I alpha is equal to minus mb into theta and alpha equal to minus mb by I into theta. M, B, I are constant for the same magnet. So alpha proportional to minus theta. This is the condition for angular SHM. But in case of angular SHM, alpha is equal to minus omega square into theta. Comparing once again equation 3 and 4, omega square should be equivalent to minus mb by I, mb by I. From omega is equal to root of mb by I. Time period T is equal to 2 pi by omega and T equal to 2 pi into root of I by mb. Our frequency n is equal to 1 by T into root of 1 by capital T, that is equal to 1 by 2 pi into root of mb by I. Here what is capital I? Capital I means moment of inertia. I means moment of inertia of the dipole. This is the dipole magnet, bar magnet. In general, bar magnet is in the shape of a rectangular lamina. It's a rectangular lamina. Suppose mass of the lamina is m, length of the lamina is L, and breadth of the lamina is equal to B. So in first year system of particles, moment of inertia of the rectangular lamina about an axis passing through the center and perpendicular to its plane is given by I is equal to m into L square plus B square by 12. Here, just there is a small difference or the small mistake done by most of the students. What is it? Small m here, what is small m? Small m indicates here mass of the magnet. But in all the remaining cases, small m represents the pole strength. ఇది ఒక్కటి గుర్తుంచుకోండి జాగ్రత్తగా. ఇక్కడేమో m అంటే మాస్, అక్కడ మిగిలిన కేసెస్ లో స్మాల్ m అంటేనేమో పోల్ స్ట్రెంగ్త్ అండి. మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో I is equal to m into L square plus B square by 12. In case of lamina, L is far greater than B. That's why B square can be neglected. That's why I is equivalent to m into L square by 12. This is the formula for moment of inertia of the magnetic needle in the uniform magnetic induction field. Here I is equal to moment of inertia, m is equal to mass of the magnet, capital M is equal to magnetic moment, and L is equal to total length of the magnet. But in previous classes, length of the magnet is taken as 2L. But in this situation, in this case, total length of the magnet is taken as L. ఈ రెండు గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. ఏది? స్మాల్ m. Here small m indicates the mass of the magnet. Total length of the magnet is L, not 2L. While doing the problems corresponding to time period, L indicates length of the magnet, total length. M indicates the total mass of the magnet, not pole strength. Are you understand? Right. So here there is one application. First application, first one, for a given bar magnet, the time period capital T is equal to 2 pi into root of I by mb. You know very well. And I is equal to here m into L square by 12. In the first case, if the magnet is cut into two equal parts parallel to its length, like this. Magnet is cut into two equal parts parallel to its length. This is one part and this is the other part. What happened the magnetic moment of each one? Magnetic moment of each one is equal to capital M by 2. So capital M dash is equal to M by 2. Moment of inertia of each one is equal to I dash. I dash is equal to, if it is cut into two equal parts, mass of each part is also half of the original one. Means M by 2. Length of each part remains same, which is equivalent to original length of the magnet. That is L square. It need not be changes. M by 2 L square by 12. So here m L square by 12 is taken as I. ml square by 12 is taken as I. ml square by 12 is taken as I. That's why I dash is equal to I by 2. Now T is proportional to root of I by m, because B is also constant in the same magnetic field. T dash by T is equal to root of I dash by I into m by m dash. I dash is equal to I by 2 by I into m by m dash is also m by 2. M dash is equal to m by 2. I cancel. Mm cancel. 2 also cancel 1. Therefore T dash is equal to T. That means the time period T dash, time period of the each part remaining the same, which is equal to original bar magnet. That means suppose a bar magnet should be cut into n equal parts. N equal parts parallel to its length. Time period of each piece is also equivalent to time period of the original bar magnet. There is no change in time period. It's very important. But in the second case, if the magnet is cut into two equal parts, perpendicular to its length, like this. it is the length of the magnet. Now the magnet is cut into two equal parts perpendicular to its length. What happens the length of each part? Half. Pole length remaining same because there is no change in area of cross section. Now magnetic moment of each part is equal to m by 2, m dash is equal to m by 2. Moment of inertia of each part is equal to I dash is equal to, here mass of the each piece is equal to half, means m by 2 into length is also half, L by 2 whole square by 12. So m by 2 into L square by 4 by 12. M L square by 12 is equal to I. 4 into 2 is equal to 8. Therefore I by 8. Now T is also, T is also directly proportional to root of I by MB. M is also constant. T proportional to root of I by M. T dash by T is equal to root of I dash by I into M by M dash. I dash is equal to I by 8 by I into M by M dash is equal to M by 2. M cancel, I cancel. It is equivalent to 4, 1 by 4. 1 by 4. Root gabatti 1 by root 4 is equal to 1 by 2. Therefore T dash is equal to T by 2. T dash is equal to T by 2. Similarly, if the magnet is cut into n equal parts perpendicular to its length, n equal parts perpendicular to its length, then the time period of each part is given by T dash is equal to T by n. So it is remembered that if the magnet is cut into n parts parallel to its length, there is no change in time period. If it is cut into n parts perpendicular to its length, time period of each part T dash is equal to T by n. T dash is equal to T by n. Next again, case 3. Suppose an identical brass is kept on the given magnet. Brass is a non-magnetic material. For example, suppose this is a bar magnet. On this bar magnet, a brass rod is taken. Identical brass rod. Identical brass rod means both are having same moment of inertia. Now the system is suspended freely in the uniform magnetic induction field. These two will be, oscillates about the field direction. Let us derive the formula for time period of this combination. Let the time period of only bar magnet is capital T. An identical brass rod is kept on the given magnet and the system is oscillating in the field. Find the value of time period of this combination in terms of capital T. So here I dash is equal to 2I because these two are identical. Its moment of inertia is I, Both will rotate about the same axis. That's why total moment of inertia is 2I. And magnetic moment of the combination means M dash is equal to M because the upper one is non-magnet. Therefore T dash by T is equivalent to root of I dash by I into M by M dash. T dash is equal to 2I by I dash is equal to 2I by I into M by M dash is equal to M. I cancel, M cancel is equal to root 2. Therefore T dash is equal to root 2 into T. That means the time period of the system will be increased to root 2 times the time period of the magnet. So next one, how do we compare the magnetic moments of two magnets using vibration magnetometer VMM? Here the vibration magnetometer is a device used to compare the magnetic moments of two bar magnets which is working on the same principle as the mentioned above. So in the first one, if the two magnets are of same dimensions, here what is our aim? Let us compare the magnetic moments of two bar magnets. Compare the magnetic moments of two magnets. If for example the two magnets are of same size, means I1 equal to I2 equal to I, as well as, so this is the first magnet, its moment is M1, it is the second magnet M2. Time period of the first magnet individually individually only the first magnet is suspended in the uniform magnetic field, its time period is found to be T1. So T1 is equal to 2 pi into root of I by M1 into B. Now again, in the same field, the second magnet of moment M2 is suspended and its magnetic moment time period is represented by T2 is equal to 2 pi into root of I by M2 into B. Dividing these two, T1 by T2 is equal to root of M2 by M1, or T1 square by T2 square is equal to M2 by M1, or from this M1 by M2 is equal to T2 square by T1 square. This is the formula for comparison of magnetic moments of two magnets. Here what is T1? T1 is the time period for the first magnet. T2 is the time period for the second magnet suspended in the same field. In that situation, M1 by M2 is equal to T2 square by T1 square. But it is remembered that both the magnets are same dimensions. In other case, if the two magnets having non-identical dimensions, they are not identical means I1 is not equal to I2. They are not having same moment of inertia. Again, find the value of time period corresponding to comparison of magnetic moments of these two magnets. For this purpose, this is the first magnet and this is the second magnet. Moment is M1, moment is M2. Let the two magnets are placed one over to other such that suspended in the same magnetic field. Also it is remembered that like poles are on one side. Magnetic moment of the upper magnet is M1 and for second magnet is M2. Net magnetic moment of the combination is equal to M1 plus M2. So M1 dash is equal to M1 plus M2. I1 dash is equal to I1 plus I2 because both the magnets should be rotate about the same axis of rotation. Moment of inertia of the two rods are I1 and I2. Net moment of inertia I1 plus I2. Therefore, the time period of the combination T1 equal to 2 pi into root of I1 dash by M1 dash into B. So after that, the two magnets are arranged one over to other such that unlike poles are on one side. This is N, this is S. Its magnetic moment is M1, this magnetic moment is M2. Net magnetic moment, M1 and M2 both are opposite here. Net magnetic moment is equal to M1 minus M2 and I2 dash is equivalent to I1 plus I2 because I2, moment of inertia is a scalar, there is no direction. Now the time period in this state T2 is equal to 2 pi into root of I2 dash by M2 dash into B. Now dividing these two, T1 by T2 is equal to root of I1 dash by I2 dash into M2 dash by M1 dash. I2 dash is equal to I1 plus I2, I1 dash is also I1 plus I2, both are cancelled. M2 dash is equal to M1 minus M2 by M1 plus M2. Therefore T1 square by T2 square is equal to M1 minus M2 by M1 plus M2. According to, by applying component and dividendo principle, from this M1 plus M2 by M1 minus M2 is equal to T2 square by T1 square, or M1 by M2 is equal to T2 square plus T1 square by T2 square minus T1 square. This is the formula for comparison of magnetic moments of two non-identical bar magnets. Thank you. So in the next class I will explain the terrestrial magnetism. It is somehow difficult. Please watch the video regularly. Thank you, my dear students.